Okay, as you can see, here's another pipe. The other pipes are no longer here, but this pipe that's been left has a red cap on the end of it, as you can see. I have no idea what that cap is for on the end of that, but there was no cap like that on the end of any of those other pipes. I've looked over the other video from the first several videos that I did, and I saw no indication that there was anything like this red, what appears to be a plastic cap. So I'm documenting all of this stuff because I think it's necessary. The man who told me that, well, who checked and told me that the stuff was radioactive, told me when I told him I was worried about my health, he says, oh, that stuff, it's not enough to do any harm to you at all. But my question still came up in my head. If government doesn't want them to buy it, there's got to be something wrong with it. If government doesn't want people to sell it, and I'm talking about it, when I say it, I'm talking about radioactive material, anything that's radioactive. If government doesn't want people to sell it or buy it, there's got to be something wrong with the radioactive material sufficient enough that they don't want people to buy it or sell it. So here we are in a situation where people have been constantly doing the same thing that myself and another fellow did. We came here and we picked up some of these pipes and took them to the scrap yard, which is right down that road there and off to the right 1 block on your left. Now, so we're not too far away from the scrap yard. If the scrap people are not allowed to buy pipe that they have checked with the Geiger counter and said it's radioactive, and they're allowing people to load back up whatever it is that they're attempting to sell that has been measured and tested as being radioactive. They're letting the people walk off with what they try to sell or haul off what they tried to sell, and it's ended up back in the neighborhood. And since this street is the first street they get to coming from the scrap yard, it appears that, according to the man who lives across the street here, he stated that anytime someone leaves something on the side of the road, it's probably been measured with the Geiger counter, and the people at the scrap yard has turned it down because they're thinking it's hot, means it's radioactive. So if this is pipe that's hot, and if this pipe is radioactive, this looks like still another piece of pipe that has been put out here after it has been turned down. But that's only speculation, right? So I'm saying this, I'm going to continue to look into this because I don't understand how government would require that no one can buy radioactive material and no one can sell radioactive material, but have people broadcasting the message that it's not harmless. It's got to be harmful or something. That's the reason why I'm going to keep digging into it until I found out what is this idea of radioactivity, and why is it that people are dying of cancer when it's been said by chemists that tobacco is radioactive out of the ground. And so if tobacco is radioactive and people are catching cancer 25, 30 years down the road after smoking cigarettes for that long, then that says there's got to be something wrong with radioactivity. And whether or not it's a dose that will kill a person in 3 minutes or in 30 years, if it's dangerous enough to kill people over time, that's a reason for concern. So that's what my concern is in the first place. I think somebody is shading the truth, and if government was concerned enough about something that's radioactive, are they right to be concerned that it's not a problem? But if they're saying it's not a problem, why are they telling people you can't buy it and you can't sell it? So what other choice do people have? They can't sell it, so they bring it and throw it away. And what happens is somebody else comes in, picks up the same mess, tries to sell it. There's no telling how many times the scrap people have picked this stuff up off of somebody's truck or trailer and tested it and told the people we can't buy it. So how many times do you think this piece of pipe right here has traveled back and forth from some scrap yard because people are turning it down? And if they're turning it down, I'm saying there's something got to be wrong. If radioactivity kills people in cigarettes, it takes 25 or 30 years of smoking it. Then these pipes, you might say, it doesn't hurt anybody who's exposed to it for a few minutes or a few hours. But if the ultimate thing is death in 25 or 30 years, that ought to be reason for concern. So that is my reason for looking into this, and I will continue. I don't know what this is going to lead to, but this is another pipe. This is not the same pipe that was in the pile that I video recorded about 2 weeks ago. This is a totally different pipe, and there's got to be a reason why somebody's bringing this stuff out here. And how do we know people are not ending up catching cancer or some other illness because of this radioactive pipe? Thank you.